This is the 3-time Impact Wrestling X Division champion, the newest member of Bullet Club. I am the inevitable Ace Austin. And right now I want you to check out something on YouTube for me. If you're looking for some wrestling content on YouTube, go ahead and head over to the Nation Network. All right, they got some old school, they got some new school, and I'm willing to bet, chances are they've got something that you'll like. And that is inevitable.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Nation Network and welcome back to Collector's Corner. Joining me as always, J-Rock73. Say hello, Jay.
Hello, Jay. I'm not used to being on the screen right from the get-go. I'm used to you bringing me in. This is different.
Aw, you never forget your first. Well, it would look kind of hokey if I didn't because the background has two screens up, right? So if I take you away, then it's just that, and that's boring, so... That is colorful. It pops. It says, "Hey, welcome."
Yes.
So welcome everybody out there in chat land. As always, we invite you to jump on the stream. This is Collector's Corner, where we show some of the stuff we've collected over the years, because just about everyone that is a part of this channel has collected something, whether it's wrestling magazines, maybe old programs from live events you attended. I even know one guy, I haven't seen them yet, but he's got some of those old posters that they used to stick up on telephone poles and stuff back in the day. I love those things.
Oh yeah.
Hoping to get him to send me some pictures or get on here and actually show them to us, because that's the kind of stuff we all collect something. And what good is it if it's in a room that only you see, man? Show it off. And that's what the whole idea of this program is. So we've had a few people join in over the month or two that we've done this, and we want to get more. We want to see what's going on with you. So be part of the show. Get some of your stuff in here. I'm going to kick us off, and this is going to be a little bit of a surprise, I think, to some people, because you would think, right? So we're going to start it off with 2K22. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, Vince, been watching the channel a little bit now, and I know you've already been running 2K22 for a while. Well, I have the digital 2K22, but I like having physical media because you never know. If you've been paying attention to the news and seeing what's been happening, if you are on PlayStation and you had bought National Geographic and whatever program they had, gone now. Sorry you paid for it, but you can't have it anymore because we no longer have a deal with National Geographic.
Right.
Now, it sounds a little more far-fetched that it would happen with a 2K game, and it probably won't, but I want to have a physical copy just in case. So that was the first thing I picked up since the last show we've done.
Well, I can speak from being on Steam. They do, after so long, they take games off of it. So if you don't have the physical copy and you didn't buy it, like I can't go back on Steam and get 2K19. I can't. So
they delist them after a while. And with that in mind, this isn't wrestling related, but it's subject related. The other thing I picked up this week. Friday the 13th. They just delisted it not too long ago. It's still playable in parties only. And even that might be going away from what I hear. But at the very least, you do have a single player option, but you can only be Jason. But they did such a great job with this game, and it was really fun when the servers were up and running at full strength. Now you have to try and hope into a party, but That said, same logic. I wanted to have physical media because you can't get it on PlayStation anymore. PlayStation Store doesn't have it. They lost the rights to it, not PlayStation, but if you don't follow the story, and I know we're off topic, but Friday the 13th went through a massive lawsuit a few years ago and lost to essentially the owner of the material, which I think his father was the creator. And long story short, they had to stop everything about the game they could. The game was already out, but they had other DLC that was coming out, and that all got squashed. So that's why you buy physical.
Yep.
What you bringing to the table?
Well, a couple of things I've shown before, but they're in a new condition. So we'll start
new condition.
So we'll start off with this one. I've shown this before, the Undertaker with the silver seal. But this one I purchased offline with a couple other comics that I'll show later. Already graded and stuff. I paid $22.50 for it, or $22.50 for it. I looked it up, and in the condition that it's in and that it's graded and everything like that, this comic is actually worth about $300. So, and the whole reason for the reason it's worth $300 is because you can't see it up here, but they always leave notes and stuff. And I like having graded comics because they tell you history that you might not have found out. There was two different foil seals for this comic. One, you had to order the WrestleMania from WrestleMania 15 to even get it. So, but the first 100 had the embossed seal like this one is, and everything else after that had a flat seal. So this is like one of 100 with the embossed seal, and that's what makes this worth $300.
All right, so we're all going to meet up at Jay's house around midnight and try and score us a copy of that magazine there. So there you have the Undertaker. Was it Silver Seal?
Yeah, it's the Undertaker #1. It's called the silver foil stamp seal because, like I said, yeah, before it actually hit the newsstands, if you ordered the pay-per-view WrestleMania 15, there's a number on the back that you could call and contact them and send them a copy of your, at that time, your cable bill showing that you had purchased that pay-per-view. They sent you this comic in the mail. And like I said, this is one of 100. And I like I showed before, I have another copy that's raw, which means it's not been graded. So I've got 2 out of 100 with the embossed seal.
Check out the big brain on Dale Santaford over here, who knows all his history about the comic book.
Oh,
Chaos Comics is no longer around anymore, the man says.
No, they are actually the guy who created Lady Death and Evil Ernie and stuff. He's still putting out those comics, but it's just under his name. So you have to look up the creator himself on his website, and you can still get, he's still putting out, because I'm a huge Lady Death, Purgatory. Oh God, I can't. Chaos Comics was awesome. So when they did all the wrestling, I mean, you've got Undertaker, you've got Stone Cold, they did China, they did The Rock. There was a one shot for Mankind, which I can't find because they didn't produce that many of them. Whew, let me tell you, there's a lot. So
a lot of stuff to be had there. Judd, welcome aboard, buddy. Once again, if you guys have stuff you want to share on an upcoming edition or even today's edition of Collector's Corner, you can either jump on now. If you're watching this on demand, you can hit me up on Twitter X. And if you don't want to get on camera, or if you can't meet our schedule, which we don't really have a schedule, we just do it as soon as we can. By all means, you can send photographs or short video clips, and I will still pop that up here and share that with everybody in the nation. All right, moving along. My next thing. So we, since the last episode, had a toy convention where I work, and that means I got to get something, you know. I walked in with the anticipation I was getting nothing. That's always the way it starts. And then as I went through there, I found a couple of things, and it is the season after all. So with that in mind, we got another Funko Pop. This is Roddy Piper with the little goatee going on. It's got him there with his kilt. I can't tell what's underneath the kilt because of the angle the box is at. I'm just going to presume he's wearing something. Got the leather jacket going on. This is kind of like, I'm trying to remember when he was sporting this look, but I thought about WrestleMania around the corner, and that's the man that was very responsible for there being a WrestleMania in any way, shape, or form. So added him to the Funko Pop lineup here at the Nation Network.
I was going to say the goatee makes me think of when he transitioned over to WCW. I think he had the goatee when he went over there.
That's kind of, I was thinking of that. And at first I was thinking like They Live, and I was like, no, he was clean shaven, had the long hair.
Yeah.
So this would have been like maybe when he did his little TNA stint and called out.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
That's kind of the time frame in my mind as well. But it was Roddy Piper. WrestleMania's around the corner, and it wasn't very expensive either. It was like $10 or something like that. You got anything else?
Bad. Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, he says.
Sticking with comic books and sticking with the Undertaker. Again, this is one I've shown in raw form, but it was part of the 3 set that I got for $22.50 each, and it's the Undertaker Halloween special. Now there was 3 different covers for this edition. There's another art cover. There's a Undertaker, what they call photo covers, and then there was this one. Well, what makes this one special is that, and I didn't know this cover, for some reason, Chaos Comics shipped it out to a company over in France, and so all these covers were made in France. Don't know why they did it, but because they were made overseas, it makes them a little more valuable. And little thing about it is, in this comic, you have Mankind, you have Undertaker, you have Paul Bearer, you have Kane, but you have 3 other individuals that you will never see in another comic book. And that is the Brood. It has Gangrel, Edge,
and crossover.
Yeah, it has Gangrel, Edge, and Christian in it. And you'll never see them in another comic book. Like I said, I paid $22.50 for this. Right now, it's going for about $175, I think. So not a bad profit at all for it. So,
but you have to sell it to make that profit.
In time,
yeah. I was gonna say
but that's why you have multiples. Like I said, I have the graded copy here. I have 2 more raw copies sent over in boxes over there. So if I'm going to sell them, I can sell the raw ones and keep the graded one for myself. Because the raw ones are going for about $50 to $60 a piece right now. So,
but if you sent those over and graded them, would they not jump up in price?
Yes.
Would it not be you to go ahead and do that?
Well, and see, that's the thing. It's like when you're doing this stuff, you have to decide. You don't send everything in, but
well, it's expensive after a while too.
Well, yeah, I mean. We talked about it the other day. It was like,
yes, we did.
$50 to have something done. And I thought about something too. They're in Sarasota, Florida, so you can bypass the shipping and call them and if you want to take some of your wrestling magazines over there and have them graded, just call them and say, hey, I want to set up appointments to bring in some stuff, and you can just drive over yourself and then pick them up there when they're done.
Well, Sarasota is not exactly around the block for me, man. That's a pretty good trip.
Well, it's the same state, and I'm 3-4 states away. So if I lived there, I would drive there.
I don't know that I would have the time to make that drive not once but twice.
I'm just saying.
To your point, it's avoidable if I wanted to make that commitment.
Right. But yeah, you're right. I mean, as long as the price stays up on them, and this one's a 9.0.
Yeah, that's a high score.
So if anybody, right. So you look at everything from a 1 to a 10. You're always at a crapshoot when you go to get something graded, because I could send those other 2 in and they could come in at a 7 or a 6 or something like that, which means the value is going to be less.
Absolutely.
So that's where you have to kind of judge, and I'm pretty good at it. Right. And I've been collecting comic books since I was 8. So I know what they look for as far as defects and stuff like that. So I'm a little bit better judged to say, okay, I'm going to send this one. And if I'm off by maybe one grade tier. I might say it's a 9 and it comes back as an 8.5 or something like that. So it's not too bad for me. So, but.
Well, it definitely helps when you have the background in the industry like you and Dale clearly have. I collected a little bit when it came to the comic books, particularly Spawn. That was the thing I got in on early. Thought it was going to be the next Superman, but then it wasn't. So I've got like all those first issues, but I don't think they're worth that much.
Depends on the condition. I mean,
they're all in good shape. They've been in a box, special, the collector's comic book box with the cardboard backing and plastic sleeves and all that.
Yeah.
So, they're well preserved. I just don't know the demand is there.
You've got young collectors out there right now who are looking for like the Spawns and stuff because they're you can't find them anywhere. No comic shops really carry them anymore and stuff. So again, it comes down to if you find the right buyer, you know.
And then it's a matter of how you find them, because my first thought would be to post it on eBay, but then you got to deal with all that eBay crap. You're going to package it up, you're going to send it, hope the guy is legit and that he's not going to receive it and go, oh, I never received it. Or it came here all destroyed and in bad shape. Maybe he had one in bad shape. Now he's going to send you his back.
Right.
Is it worth it for me? No. The only thing I sell at all is going to be on Facebook yard sale pages. This way we meet in face to face. Here's the magazine or whatever it is, and give me the cash and never gonna see you again. Bye.
That's why I just look at ratings. I bought a few comic books from guys off of Facebook, and they've come exactly like they said they were. And
I'll buy off of eBay and stuff like that. Yeah. I'll buy. It's just selling. It's not worth it for me. No. And then they're gonna take their commission as well. So no.
That's true. Yeah, you can always I was gonna say, sometimes I go to a lot of like auctions and stuff and flea markets, and there's people that sell there. So I mean, there's different ways if you want the face to face and stuff like that. So
we used to have 2 decent flea markets within 15-20 minutes of me on each side of town. Both of them are gone now. Built over a strip mall and crap like that. I'm like, you sons of bitches. There's like nothing like that around here anymore. Not a good one anyway. All right, let's see. My last contribution to today's stream, and we're still sticking with the fact that it's the season. So if we got Rowdy Roddy Piper, we got to have Hulk Hogan, brother. He's got the championship belt around his waist. He is tearing off the T-shirt, which was grabbed my attention because I have other variations of Hulk Hogan. The first Funko Pop I ever bought was a loose Hogan figure. And I didn't even know what Funko Pop was really, but it looked goofy enough and it was Hogan-esque, and I thought it'd be a good thing to add to the collection. And then I start learning more about Funko Pops and the popularity and all, and how many variations there are. So anyway, Hulk Hogan tearing the shirt off with the championship belt. I was happy with that. And like I said, I got the 2 of them for like $20.
Nice. Very
And
nice.
they even come with that nice little plastic box around them because it was a collector's store coming out to do business, so they take good care of their stuff.
Yep.
What you got? Anything left?
I got 2 more things left.
All right, well, you're going to go 2 for 2 then. Let's go. Bang them out.
All right. So this one I've never shown before. I've never had a copy of it. And again, this was the 3rd out of the 3 set for $22.50 each. And it's the previews exclusive of China 2nd comic book, number 1. And what makes this so special is that it was sent out, only retailers got this copy, which means they sent it out to comic book stores, any place that sold comic books, as a preview for them, say, hey, this is what we got coming out. Would you want to carry it in your store? So it's hard to tell how many's available, but right now in a 9.0 condition, again, I paid $22.50. This one's going for about $4.25. If it had her signature on, which there's about 20 of them out there that she signed to send out, those suckers are going for about $2,000-$3,000 a piece right now in this condition. So like I told you the other day, I wish I had one of the signed ones, but I'm pretty happy with $4.25 for a $22.50 investment. So
yeah, certain names are just always gonna draw, and when it comes to the divas and stuff like that, that's always going to be a pretty as safe a market as you're going to find when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, I feel like I just segued real nicely for you.
You did. Staying on the divas. Everybody who's watched the show knows I bought a Christy Hemme Playboy at a flea market for $2.50. Well, I sent it in and got it CGC'd. And like Vince said, well, you can't look at the pictures. If I want to see the pictures, I'll go online. They're on there. But like I said, I paid $2.50 for this. After getting it graded at a 9.2, she's running about $300, $350, somewhere in there, depending on who is looking for it. So paid $2.50 for it, paid $50 to have it all CGC'd and sent to me. So looking at about a $300 profit on it. We discussed also how with all that going on with Brock's name being put out with Vince and stuff, Sable's Playboys are going up in price right now. She's looking at about the same price range, $300 to $400 for a CGC copy of it. China's are going for about $3,000 right now. CGC'd or raw. So, you know, if you've got those and you're looking to sell them, there's places to take them off your hands, or contact me. Depending on the condition, I might shell out a few bucks to
he'll give you a couple grand for it, no problem. Dale Sandiford, I'll tell you what, this boy is everything magazines. China was at the Chaos booth back in early 2004 of Chicago Wizard World. Say that 3 times fast.
And that was about the time. Let's see, what was the date on this? Okay, this was 01, so she could have had some copies of it and signed them at the convention she was at. So that's probably where those signed copies of it came from.
Yeah, Korner Dale, who's so far a pretty good authority in these things, he went to a bunch of the Chicago Wizard World conventions, and the WWF at the time divas were there, and they were signing their Playboys.
Well, there you go. Yep.
It's got to be an awkward thing, I would think. I mean, you're Christy Hemme, and here comes some dude up to you, and will you sign this book with your naked pictures? And I haven't looked, or it's not like I've seen you without your clothes on, or I'm like envisioning you right now in front of me. It's kind of awkward, I would think.
If you were going to be that awkward about it, you wouldn't have done it in the first place.
Yeah, well, you're doing that in an artistic setting with a professional photographer.
Well,
now you're face to face with the guy who's been wanking off to you for the last 3 months.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It probably depends on how you approach them. Be like, look, I'm a big fan. This is the only thing I've got. That's why I wanted you
without your clothes on.
You don't say that. You just say.
You give it a magazine. You don't have to. It's implied.
I'm just saying, if you approach them in a certain way, you can make it less awkward.
Yes. Christy, would you sign it for me? I love the article.
The articles were great. The cartoons were fantastic. You don't go up and say, I loved how you bent over that bathtub in that one picture. Just you leave that alone.
Candice Michelle apparently was there signing. Tori Wilson, Christy Hemme, which we know, and Maurice with the older one. That would be an interesting one to have. Dwight Ray's in the house.
And that's the thing. It's like when it comes to Playboys, how many of them how many did it? Like we said, China did one. Christy Hemme did one. Ashley Massaro did one.
That's got to be worth a penny.
I would say so, yeah.
And then, what's her name? The chick with the legs.
Stacy Keebler.
Stacy Keebler, yes. Didn't she?
Yep.
Pretty sure she did.
Tori, but like Sable and Tori each did 2. So they've got 2 to their names.
That makes them special.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. Well, want to thank you for jumping in and stopping by the corner to take a look at stuff. And again, this is going to be a little better when other people get involved. So whether you want to send still photographs, you can hit me up on Discord. It's under One Nation. You should be able to find me that way. The number 1 and the word nation. Or you can check under Nation Network. Just remember that the N at the end of the word nation is also the first N of the word network. So there's only one N in between the two. They share it. It's one word, Nation Network, altogether. And then there's also Twitter X that you can hit me up on. Same thing.
Twix.
You were going to say something?
Yeah, I said Twix.
Oh, Twix. I thought you said wait.
No, Twix.
Twix. It's a good candy bar. You should get some.
Have some.
All right. Well,
Man,
that's going to be a wrap, I think, for this one. Do have another program that'll be coming up in the near future. It's going to be a lot less predictable in the sense that never know. It might be a once a month thing only because scheduling. It's going to be a joke. But I'm looking forward to that when it happens. We've been teasing it a little bit here and there. It'll be fun. It's something a little bit different than what we've done before. So look for that. I don't want to give anything else away until the first episode. And after that, we'll just do full on advertising for it whenever we're going to be doing it. So that will be a wrap for this one. Do what you do best. Say good night, Jay.
Good night, Jay.
See, I didn't hype it up. I mean, he really does do that well. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time right here back in the Collector's Corner. Have a great rest of your day.